Gentlemen, don't be weak husbands like Jezebel's king Ahab. The marriage between Jezebel and Ahab was arranged for political convenience, so Ahab had no say in it, and Jezebel didn't have to do any work to make herself wife material, other than to be born into Gentile royalty. Thus, she brought all her pagan practices like astrology, that so many Christian feminists do today, to the marriage. That's all she brought. And initially saw herself as an equal partner with Ahab. But then, when she sensed weakness in him, she saw herself as his superior, his goddess, wanting him to bow to her power. Doesn't this sound just like what a lot of educated, degreed women do today? They tend to lose respect for their men the minute they make more money due to their education. This is why it's important for men to maintain sensible authority over their households, still with a humble spirit, so long as the woman is also humble. But if she's not, she will ruin the household just like Jezebel, and even Eve did before her. Gentlemen, you simply cannot allow dark spirits into your homes and your lives. I'll show you why shortly. To the women who call themselves Christian but follow all the detestable practices of feminism, astrology, witchcraft, voodoo, and quote-unquote manifestation, let me say it again, manifestation, we'll talk about that here shortly, karma, and other religions, how do you reconcile that with the clear commandment that you have no other gods before the God of Jesus Christ? Also, many of you love to wish karma on men, like I did with Kevin Samuels and other people. You assume did you wrong, but where did Jesus Christ allow Hinduism into the faith? Yeah, a lot of you don't know that karma is a Hindu principle just like yoga, which many of you also practice. You better pray about all these non-Christian principles you've been adopting into your spirit and that you bring into your own families and your marriages. Gentlemen, pay close attention here because some of you underestimate the dark arts, even the most subtle forms of it. Ladies, when some of you talk about speaking things into existence and manifesting something you want into existence, is that really faith talking or is that casting a spell? Let me say it again. Are you casting a spell? Let me read a summary that Vox.com, that's VOX.com, did of the book called The Secret, published all the way back in 2006, that popularized manifestation. Quote, when the Australian television producer Rhonda Byrne published The Secret in 2006, book critics responded, for the most part, by laughing at it. This wasn't necessarily unwarranted. Byrne's assertion that positive things will happen to you if only you think enough positive thoughts is crammed with unscientific New Age-isms that feel like truth no matter how untrue they actually are, unquote. Now notice the New Age reference. Continuing, quote, more than a decade after The Secret, a new generation is discovering its central thesis, except this time on social media. On TikTok, teenagers share stories about how scripting, or repeatedly writing down a wish, caused a romantic crush to finally text them back. On YouTube, vloggers lead tutorials on how to properly manifest your dream future. On Instagram, someone will write that $20,000 will soon land in your hands and all you have to do is comment yes, unquote. It's so lazy. Does that sound familiar? Who does that out there? Where do they do that at? The Bible actually speaks on the spirit of manifestation, associating it with the spirit of laziness, because people who subscribe to it do absolutely nothing but expect everything to be handed to them. We see this with Christian feminists who think they don't have to do anything to prepare for a husband, but expect the man to make himself a perfect husband, just like she prayed to God for. This line of thinking is not of God. Ladies, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but I hate to inform you, that's the spirit of witchcraft, especially when you use it to get the man you want. The Bible is clear. Faith without works is dead. If, for example, you want a great husband, you can't just speak him into existence and wait on God and yet not prepare yourselves to be wives. Why is that hard to understand? Witchcraft and astrology says you can cast a spell for the man with the right astrological sign to be your husband's, which is basically what manifesting is all about. Your false pastors, not all pastors, but your false ones, the popular ones out there, ain't telling you this because they want your money and loyalty. Just like in Acts chapter 16, verse 6, I'm preaching now, where a young female fortune teller and prophetess with the spirit of divination, which is similar to astrology and manifestation church women practice today, tormented the apostle Paul many days. Remember that? She kept following him all over the place many days, saying annoying things to him day after day. So Paul was eventually so annoyed by her that he cast the evil spirit out of her. But what happened next? Because remember, she made a lot of money by the evil spirit. Her masters, or what we call today employers, were angry with Paul because they made a lot of money from her spirit of divination and fortune telling. So they beat them up. They beat up Paul and threw him in prison because they cast out the evil spirit they were making all that money by. Similarly, the major false pastors today make a ton of money from modern women being enslaved to the spirit of witchcraft, divination, manifestation, and Jezebel. This is why, especially in so many black churches, you see a noticeable absence of brothers, of men. These dark spirits have driven them out the way the angry employers drove out the apostle Paul. Did you hear me though? Did y'all hear me in the back? Pay attention. And men, how many of you not only allow your women to pollute your household and spirit, but also practice this stuff as well? I know some of you also quote your own astrology sign and wish karma on your enemies just like women do. Men are created to be leaders, proactive, in command of our destiny. We don't acquiesce to weak astrology and karma stuff for anything. King Ahab was a weak man. He did all that stuff, who came into the royal marriage as an arranged partner with Jezebel. But soon, she took advantage of his weakness and made herself superior to him. Not only did Ahab allow Jezebel to bring all these dark arts into their household, but the entire kingdom of Israel. And what was the result of that? Not only was his legacy destroyed, so was his and her soul. If you allow yourselves to be weak husbands, where you are an equal partner with co-spiritual leadership of the household, you will reap what you sow. She eventually will lose respect for you and will seek to have an upper hand in a subtle or overt way. And at that time, you will inadvertently join the exodus of men from the marriage and dating scene of your own doing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep this new channel growing. Welcome to the Brother Apocalypse.